Hello, this is Mr. Collier, and today we're finding the equation of a line given the slope and a point through the line. Okay, so first of all, let's look at this concept. If you have a point and you know the slope, then you can find other points and you know there's exactly one line through those points. Okay, so remember, our equation for the line is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So there's two things we need to find, the slope and the y-intercept. Okay? And we're given in this problem slope and a point. So we already have the slope, so I can write the equation as y equals negative 1x plus b. So I'm already halfway there. Now I need to find b, which is the y-intercept without graphing. Okay, so what you can do is, if you look closely at your point, you have your point here, that's an x and a y value that makes this equation true. So what we can do is substitute these values into the equation, and then we can solve for b. So in this point here, we have y equals negative 1. We have x equals 3. So you substitute in the point, and then we can find out what b is. So that's going to be negative 1. This is going to be negative 3 plus b. And then we can add 3 to both sides to solve for b. We get b equals positive 2. So then you can write the equation of the line y equals negative 1x, or just negative x, plus 2. Okay, so there it is. We were given the slope, we had to find the y-intercept. Next example. Here we have the slope, here we have a point on the line. So we can write the equation of the line right now as y equals 4/3 x plus b, and then we're going to solve for b. So we're going to take this point, substitute it into the equation. We've got 4 equals 4/3 times 6 plus b, and then we have to work this out. So, okay, we're going to have 4 equals, now 4/3 times 6, same thing as 4/3 times 6 out of 1, so we can cancel before we multiply. 6 divided by 3 is going to give you 2, so we have 4 times 2 is 8, plus b, and then to solve for b, we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. We get b equals negative 4. Okay, so there's your y-intercept. We already have the slope, so we're going to write y equals 4/3 x minus 4. That is the equation of the line. Okay, one more example. Perhaps this one's going to be a little tougher. Here's the slope. So y equals negative half x plus b. And we're going to substitute in this this point to find b. So we got negative 1 equals negative half times 5 plus b. Negative 1 equals, so this is going to be negative 5 out of 2 plus b. Then we can add 5 out of 2 to both sides, and we get negative 1 plus 5 out of 2 equals b. You got to remember how to add whole numbers and fractions, or integers and fractions. So we need a common denominator. So we're going to write this as negative 2 out of 2 plus 5 out of 2 equals 3 out of 2, and that equals b. So there b equals 3 out of 2. Alternatively, let me do this a different way. From this point, where I had negative 1 equals negative 5 out of 2 plus b, it might be easier at this point to get rid of all the fractions right away by multiplying everything by 2. And then you don't have to be adding and subtracting fractions all the time. So we're going to multiply everything by 2, both sides of the equation by 2, and that'll eliminate the fractions. So we're going to have negative 2 here. These 2's are going to cancel. We have negative 5 plus 2b And then we're going to add 5 to both sides. It's a 5 there. So we're going to have 3 equals 2b, and then you divide by 2, and you get b equals 3 out of 2. Okay, and finally, what was our slope? Slope is half. Slope is half, so your equation is going to be y equals half x plus 3 out of 2. Okay, or maybe you could even write it as half x plus 1.5, because it's almost always more useful to write the y-intercept as a decimal for graphing purposes. So there's your answer.